grass factor. The grass factor isn't just about lawn care. The grass factor is about the science behind why we do what we do. But we are stewards of the environment. We are stewards of the planet. It is our responsibility. So there's nothing particularly easy about turfgrass management. You get sucked into this allure that, oh, if I continue to put down the right products at the right time, everything will look great year-round. One thing we have to keep in mind as turf managers, whether you work on residential, whether you work on golf, whether you're a homeowner working on your own home lawn, it's that we are fighting nature, but sometimes nature wins. And I'm having one of those moments today that happens to me every year, usually around this time, and it starts with warm season grass. We are in the transition period where warm season grass is supposed to be greening up and it looks pretty. Let me tell you what's happening. Warm season grasses here in Knoxville tried to green up 3 times, and 3 times we were hit with either a heavy frost or a freeze or both that set them way back. That's 3 times the turf grass has to reach to its reserves, its stored carbohydrates, to send out new shoots to begin to green up. Sometimes you have days like this where every yard you pull up to looks, well, terrible. This ZOYSIA I'm looking at right now, it looks terrible. Now granted, I don't think I did not put any pre-emergent on it last fall, so I can see through the weed issues, but I mean, look at that color. It's disgusting. I start to doubt my own abilities and stuff, and I have to take a moment to stop and remember that when it comes to taming nature, it's really a never-ending war. And you're always going to lose some of your battles, but you have to have the end game in mind. The end game being that the majority of the time, year over year, you're going to have a healthy, high-performing turf grass. That being said, no matter where you are in the country, there are going to be periods of times where the lawns look terrible. And even though it looks terrible for a short period of time, it's important that you don't give up the progress that you've made or the progress that you're making. It would be real easy for me to look at this lawn right now and think, no, it's ruined, it's wrecked, it's not gonna work, you know, tell this guy, sorry, I'm not gonna be able to help you, I'm out of ideas, it's not gonna go. That's not the case. This yard is gonna go. It's just really slow. I mean, this yard isn't going to be green until June this year. And, you know, even sticking my finger down into the soil, you know, the soil temperature in this is still, you know, in the low 60s. It's barely breaking above 60 right now. So it's just now really should be starting to turn green with these soil temperatures. So I wanted to take a moment and just remind everyone that there are going to be periods of time through the course of the year where the lawns are not going to be at their peak because nature simply won't allow it. And what happens is it will put you into a panic. Like when I pull up and I see this, I immediately begin to panic and I start thinking, oh my goodness, what do I do? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? And I start questioning everything I'm doing, and I'm like, well, you know, do I need to go exceptionally heavy on the fertilizer this round? Or, you know, do I need to alternate in sources? Do I need to up my potassium? Should I go ahead and hit it with the fungicide just in case? And you'll play all these out in your head, and realistically, no, I need to put down the proper rate of fertilizer for this time of year. I need to put down the biostimulant I was going to put down. I'd already planned on aerating it because it was new sod, so go ahead and aerate it. And put all your foundation, your building blocks down, so that way the rest of nature can continue to run its course. Allow the rest of the green up process to take place, and don't try and force things to happen unnaturally. It's what happens when you start going outside the bounds, outside the limits of what nature intended, is that you could turn this into a real issue, the real issue being you could cause damage just because of the panic that sets in when you see something late in transition that doesn't look as good as you hope. So the point of today, nature is brutal. Nature is very, very, very brutal. But you can't let it stop you from doing what you know you're supposed to be doing for the turf grass given the conditions present. Because look, what's fun about that? Nothing. Look at it this way. What's fun about that? Nothing. This is the yard where I showed off that soil that was chippy and flaky and looked like shale. This yard's gonna be okay. But right now, it doesn't feel good. But that's all right, because we may have lost this particular battle. Nature beat us here, but in the long run, we'll use that to our advantage to win the war. And I think the most frustrating part about all that zoysia grass is how good the Bermuda looks. Oh well.